life as a foreign college student in the state can be overwhelming. Learning a new language or new customs can be difficult. But for me, the educational system was the biggest culture shock for me. I was not accepting the educational system to be so welcoming and accepting. In Haiti, it is unheard of for adults go back to school, especially a woman my age. I was nervous to go back to school, especially after having to overcome so many barriers, such as my divorce, becoming a single parent in a country where I had no family, and having to go through major therapy from an accident at work. I felt unqualified in every aspect of my life. It was a difficult decision for me to go back to school and sign up for an ESL course. Sociologically speaking, the viewpoints and education in Haiti and the US varies differently. Education isn't always about the finances, but always how education is viewed in different places, how much time it's spent on education, and if the school's location has necessary resources. The states have financial aid available. There are resources to help students, but in Haiti, with how corrupt things are, there is no funding. There is no money put aside for schools except for when you get to college. And that is another barrier in itself. The schools manage with what they make from students' fees. School is the stepping stone in Haiti to a better life or a better life outside of Haiti. There is no other solution, but is in the state. If you don't go to school, you have other avenues you can get. When comparing Haiti and the state, their education system are very difficult. In Haiti, schools start at age of 2 or 3, unlike the state where preschool start around age 5. In Haiti, you memorize lesson by heart. You don't have to memorize lesson like that in the US. When you get the high school in Haiti, passing every class and that grade level is mandatory, or you will have to repeat that whole year. Unlike the state where you just repeat that class, a school in Haiti consent of learning to cook, sew, basic nursing skill, etc. They prepare you for the career shoes you could eventually enrolling in if you make it to college. It is what the US consider electives, though college in Haiti is not free, that the government puts aside money to help the students pay tuition. But the rest, the tuition, it's the student's responsibility. Unlike the US, which has grants, loans, etc., the state accepts passing ACT or SAT scores and high school grades to get into college. But in Haiti, you either pass the country's entrance exam to get in, have good connection, or know the people who work at this specific university. While enrolling in school here in the States, I saw many differences. People could go to school at any age. In my country, adults could have already finished school by a certain age. Even if you wanted to go back to school and as an adult, people laughed at you. They humiliate you. It's borderline be qualified and even when on borderline anxiety, having to start all over again, especially in the society we live in, where people are quick to always judge. But I took the first step and I cannot wait to finish.